did not see any ordinary women in the Hidden Valley Ward. They were always extraordinary women doing super extraordinary things with their lives. They always had the ability and the time to spend with each other and serving each other and getting to know each other. And you have to remember, we were a small ward when I was Relief Society president, and so it was very intimate, and we knew each other's business. But they did extraordinary things to help each other in their time of need, in times of happiness, in planning parties and doing things. They always came through. And I have to say that we have a great group that is probably not rivaled anywhere else in the world.
The small and simple things were probably the most extraordinary things, because every little thing usually ends up being a big thing for someone else, because you know, even a hug or a tap on the shoulder, how you doing, or you know, just a little thing. But to me, that's an extraordinary thing because it makes such a difference in someone else's life.
A sister who moved into the ward before I was Relief Society president, but while I was president, she confided in me that she didn't feel comfortable, that she felt out of place, and that she didn't have any friends. And yet she came all the time. She always came. And I just thought that took a lot of strength of character and strength of testimony and faith for her to keep coming, even though she felt like she didn't belong. And when she really did. She was a wonderful sister, and we all loved her.
Charity never faileth. I think people's feelings are tender, and I learned that. I saw more tears than I expected in visits or things, and I think we all have to be careful that we try to be kind.
I would say my testimony increased because I tended to study more. I tried to be a little more in tune with the Spirit, and just a lot of study and more preparation than I had done before probably made the difference in increasing my testimony.
One of the most rewarding experiences that happened to me in Relief Society is having sisters that go to the temple.
The thing that I really loved was that I really felt instantly, and I think a part of it stayed with me, was the profound, sorry, you know this is me, the profound love for each sister. And it was interesting to me, as soon as I was called, that love that came with the mantle of being Relief Society president.
The people in our Relief Society really love one another, and I just learned to love the sisters.
I learned a lot about priesthood authority, the lines of the priesthood authority and the keys of the priesthood, and working with them in all those council meetings and so forth. It became more and more apparent that the Lord is in charge.
A little more empathy with people, seeing them sometimes not at their best, but having to go through trials and hardships. It changed me.
Sometimes we don't want others to see us in our time of need. And so I think if there were anything, I would say, you know, let people have that opportunity to serve, because it truly blesses their lives, and they probably need those blessings. So
One of my biggest challenges as I served Relief Society president was finding the time to study my scriptures and to really pray. It seems like you have to sharpen the saw.
It was a joy to visit and be welcomed in, and yet it was also a challenge to feel like I visited who I needed to and where I needed to be.
Well, I think the experience overall made me a better person at home. Because, you know, learning, like I mentioned, the lines of authority of the priesthood made me more respectful of my husband and improved our marriage. I'm sorry I had to go through that to learn that, but...
The Society president was outside working on our boat. I was cleaning it because we were going to take it out. And I saw a sister come walking down the sidewalk, and I thought, no, I don't want to talk. I want to get my cleaning done. And so I kept myself down low in the boat so that I wouldn't be seen. And my husband was out on the sidewalk standing, and I could hear him talking to the sister, and I thought, oh, I'll just hide myself. And so then suddenly, from out of nowhere, a hand pulled my hair and lifted me up out of that boat and said, you are going to be her Relief Society president. Now you go and talk to her. And so it was hard to argue with that. When the Lord pulls you by the hair, you have to respond. And so I got up and went and talked to her. And then I was called a couple days after that to be Relief Society president.
You know, a lot of times people say, Relief Society president, but I loved being Relief Society president, and I loved it for a couple of things. Number one, anytime anything happened in the ward, people called me. And now I'm the last person to know anything. And so it was great being in the loop. But the one that I really loved was just the visiting, like I commented before. I loved visiting people.
I saw a lot of ordinary women accomplish extraordinary things, and I think every sister in this ward is accomplishing extraordinary things in their homes and with their families.
And it seems like when women really catch the spirit of Relief Society, then they begin to find true joy. And that's what I found is true joy.
There are many benevolent groups of women who do great good. There are many who have overpowering feelings of sympathy for the unfortunate, the sick, and the needy. But this organization is unique and has been from its start. In the foundation they created, those great sisters set "Charity never faileth" at the center. It served them at the beginning, it served them in the great period that followed, it serves them now in a new time. And it will serve the Relief Society in all the periods ahead.